When we, as a team owner, we have our agents sit down and actually write out a plan of what they expect their year of the next year to be like. So we typically do this in about October. So we ask them, what improvements do you want to make from 2024, let's just say, as you're building into 2025. And so they write down some of the things they feel like they did incorrectly. They feel like then they write down the things that they have to make improvements on. Then we ask them to write down the number of homes they want to sell and then calculate their contacts and hours of prospecting, kind of what their schedule is going to look like and their days off and how many vacation days they're going to take. And then we work a little bit in there based on kind of a 10% failure rate. So if you have, let's call it 250 days of work planned, that you have about 10 days of kind of, hey, I messed up, I screwed up, I didn't get my job done. You get about 10% of those, which is 25 days a year, which is quite a bit. But what's interesting, and this is the part that I find somewhat interesting and a little troubling at times, in that an agent will sit down and they'll get really excited. They will go on in day one, week one, month one, and they'll feel like, they're gung-ho on their goal and they're gung-ho on their idea of trying to have this great, better life and sell all these houses. And somewhere in this mix, and let's just call it 30 days, if they can get to 30 days, some don't even get past week one. But they get to about 30 days, and it doesn't happen as fast as they want it to. And they get discouraged. They feel down on themselves. They didn't realize how much effort it was going to be. Kind of goes with that saying, right, where, boy, gosh, that really took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Right? And I think that what I've learned, anyway, is that almost every single thing you do takes a lot longer. And so when agents are writing out their business plan, they're not saying, hey, I have my business plan, I want to go out and sell 50 homes or 40 homes or 30 homes or 20 homes, whatever it might be. And then they run a plan of action with that. This is what is the steps, the action steps that I have to take in order to sell 20, 30, 40 homes a year. And then they get to week one and they follow the plan, and they get to week two and they follow the plan. But somewhere between, let's just call it week one and week four, things start to drop off and they start coming in late and they start having less contacts. They start getting a little bit more negative, and then the whole thing falls apart. And so I was asking my mentor, Mike Ferry, this question yesterday, and I asked him why that happens. And here's what he said. He said that the length of time it takes for somebody to change is so long that they can't sustain it because they get discouraged and they quit. And it's troubling, and I see that all the time with the agents that we work with, where they're excited, they're so gung-ho, and they just, it's like they get all pumped up, and then it doesn't happen as fast as they want it to. And that's more than ever not, right? Like, I can't even give you pretty much an instance where that hasn't happened to almost every single person. And when you get into the real estate business, you write a business plan and you have people like myself who help you lead to be successful, and it just doesn't turn out. So here's the question. Is it that it doesn't work, or is it that you're just impatient along the process? And what we do know is that it always works. That's something I learned from Mike Ferry many, many years ago, is that if you just stay positive to the process, you trust the process, as Mike says, regardless of how long it takes. See, not everybody's equal in their skill, and not everybody's equal in their ability to go out and find business. It's a learned process. And if you quit too early before you ever can reap the positiveness of the reward, then you're going to be challenged with staying in the business for any length of time, which means you'll never see the fruits of the really great things that real estate can bring people. Message today for all of those that are listening and you're trying something new, you're frustrated with the process. We're in 2025 right now, so you might be a little bit discouraged because the business hasn't turned out like you wanted it to. You're in good company, because most people, even in my group, have fallen short of the goals that they have set. Some haven't. Some are exceeding it, but most have fallen short from the goals they set. If that's you, my message today is don't let that bring you down. It takes a long time, and I'm going to give you an example before I go. I started selling real estate in January, week one, and I prospected 50 contacts a day, and I worked 12 hours a day knocking on doors and talking to buy owners and expireds. It was painful I didn't even sell one house, my very first house, until May. So by the time I took a listing and I sold the house, I didn't get paid, and I didn't get paid much. Matter of fact, I took a discount on the listing agreement just to get the listing. I had to, kind of bribe them to let them use me because I just didn't have any business, right? And that's kind of what you do when you're brand new. But, I worked really hard. Matter of fact, I had one of my agents calculate how much money I had made, because I think I made like $1,500 on my commission check. Now, again, the average sales price was pretty low back in those days, but still made $1,500, and calculated the hours that it took to get that one paycheck. And I made like $3.67 per hour. I mean, that's not good. But what was cool is when I closed my first house, I had 8 other pendings on the board that yet still hadn't closed. And that equaled a lot of money for me. And so even though it took me time and it was a lot slower than I thought it would be, the end result is that it did happen. And it's going to happen for you too. So here's my message. Don't quit no matter how difficult it is. Don't get discouraged no matter how frustrated you are. Don't let somebody talk you out of doing it. And understand that it's going to be a lot more difficult than you think. And the last thought is, always remember this: success is not convenient. It does not fall in line with your old habits. Success is attracted to new behaviors. It's attracted to committed people. It's attracted to people that put it all out there. Success comes from those that are very determined. And if you are that person, then success is in your path. If you're a quitter, then you'll never see the fruits of your labor because you quit too soon. I hope you guys appreciate this message, and I hope everybody has a great day.